Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm BZ-58-2. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today we are going to look at a brand new tank that was released today, actually. The video is a bit late. I played the tank yesterday, but to be honest, I just haven't had time this morning or last night to make the video. So now we are going to talk about this brand new tier 9 heavy tank, this Chinese heavy tank, the BZ-58-2. Now, to be fair, I kind of enjoy the tank, but it is like a knockoff 50TP prototype. It's very, very similar to the 50TP, just not as good. Considering the 50TP was free if you got it in the event, this, however, is not free at all. There are a lot of tanks. Now, tomorrow's video, I'm going to look in the store because there are a lot of tanks in the store at the moment that are on offer. So we're going to have a look at them tomorrow and decide which bundle to go for, because there are a hell of a lot. But today, there is a new event called Contraband, and if you click that, it's one of those events where you buy stuff from the store, you get them certificate things or whatever they are, and that's when you can get the tank. So the coupons, should I say. So there's a few things you can get with the coupons. As you can see, you can get crates, you can get the Borask, you can get a few other things, a contraband container there, which I don't know what's in this. What is the contraband container? So, oh, wrong one. So in there, again, you can get some tier 10 tanks, some tier 9, tier 8. You can get a load of tanks in there, and you can get a lot of things. But of course, you have to get, you have to buy stuff, basically. So even though you can get it for free, essentially, you still have to buy stuff to get the coupons to then be able to come down here. And there is some crates. So yeah, you can get the crates. Of course, it's not going to be easy to be able to get these tanks. So overall, at the moment for the event, I wouldn't say the tank is worth buying a lot of bundles to be able to get it. So we're going to have a look at it, and we're going to anyway, and we're going to get into a game just for you guys, because a lot of you are collectors and you'll spend money on the game regardless, just because you want to get the tank. But honestly, I would wait. I wouldn't be in a rush to get the tank. So the turret armor, 250mm. Now there are weak points on that armor, so if you stay still, then you will be able to get shot from your weak points. Your whole armor is pretty much non-existent, really, 110mm. Now, you do have just over 2029 DPM. That's 13.5 seconds reload. And your penetration, 268 on your AP, 326 on your APCR, and 70 on your HE. Now, we are running this with calibrated shells just to up that a little bit. You do have a 450 alpha gun, which is nice. Now, the 50TP is 440, I think. So, yeah, it's 10 higher. I don't mind the alpha. The alpha is quite nice. With it being 450, now most of your shots will be over the 400 marks. So yeah, the alpha is pretty nice. APCR is 385, and your HE is 590. So if you can get that HE off, it's definitely worth trying, because that is some nice HE damage. Your aim time 3.8, and the gun dispersion is 0.344. Now it does have a very nice 9 degrees of gun depression with a top speed of 40 kilometers per hour. So basically, like I said, it is a 50TP. The 50TP is better in almost every single way. There are a couple of stats that are better with the BZ, but overall the 50TP is much better, and actually much cheaper if those of you that got it when it was released for the clan event. So we're going to go on dead route. We're going to try and use the gun depression, and we're going to try and use the turret armor. Now, this is the game you're going to see where if you do stay still, the turret armor, you can get penetrated. Now, if you do wiggle, if you move about and you look up, you go back, then yeah, of course, like with most tanks, to be fair, you can get bounces on the turret. Now, we do get our nice 800 bounce, probably from the Jaegeru in the corner. So yeah, I now know he's there. So I'm going to try and not expose myself. Said that before. I'm going to try and not expose my tank up this hill so he can get me. So of course I do want to spot as many tanks as I possibly can. There's a T-57 heavy there, the E-100 is there, so I do want to try and help my 60 TP and go for him. But as soon as I get there, he is backing up. So this is where I do want to use my 9 degrees of gun depression and just get on this little ridge here. He's there, and sadly, stupidly bounce. Very annoying, because actually he was grey, but it still bounced, but oh well. So the enemy have now caught base B, which I'm assuming is that IS-8 that was there at the start. That I managed to get pretty much my only shot off. So I'm going to try and use this ridge as a little bit of protection for my side, and then at least then really the only thing he will be able to see, as long as I position correctly, the only thing he can see will be my turret. But I still need to watch around, because I know that there is the E-100 behind there, and I know that there is a T-57 around. I don't want to go up any further because of the Jaegeru as well. So at the moment I'm in a pretty decent position, and of course I do want to clear this IS-8. But yeah, stupid really. I traded that. Didn't need to trade that at this point. And then the T-57 comes forward. Of course, he's not paying attention to me, my teammate to the left, so I can get a free shot into him. So only 1800 damage at the moment. Now I'm going to try and ignore the T-57, because I do want to clear this IS-8. Yeah, I know he's a tier 9 tank, but you know, it can still be a decent tank. So I did want to clear him. So that is now one tank down for the enemy, and that does put us up. However, the 60 TP here is excuse me, is a one shot. So now I'm just going to relocate a little bit, and this is where you're going to see about turret armor and how they can still get some shots off, and even on I mean, he's penetrating me. I'm quite far down, to be fair, and he's still getting shots off, which is an absolute shame. So now this is where I want to use my 9 degrees of gun depression, but then as the Jaegeru is not looking, I'm going to take that opportunity to get a bit of free damage. And look at his hit points just absolutely vanished there. He's now down to a one shot. So I'm trying to push forward, but again, I don't want this T-57, because if he gets the first shot on me, then I'm going to be a one shot. And if he's got 3 shells loaded, then I'm going to be absolutely dead. So you can see him aiming. I do get one bounce. And again, I'm trying to back up. And luckily for me, my grill does take him out. So that just leaves 3 tanks left alive. I bounced 1100 damage. So, you know, the armor is not all that bad. Even though we just got absolutely obliterated, really, from that T-57, the armor isn't so bad on the turret. But you have to, again, you have to make it work. You can't just sit there and expect, you can't sit there and expect to bounce everything. There's always going to be weak points. And with this, there's more weak points than others. So do bear that in mind. But as I said at the start of the game, when I was, of course, reviewing the stats, I honestly, I wouldn't buy this tank at the minute. Well, I wouldn't buy tanks in the bundle to get this tank, if you know what I mean. Now, there are in fact a lot of tanks in the store, as I've said. So maybe if there are tanks that you do want to get and you was looking at getting, especially while they're on offer, then maybe now is the time, because at least then if you're going to get a tank that you was going to buy anyway, you do get these coupons as well. So, you know, it can work in your favor, because again, you go over to the store, you buy tanks anyway, and then you might get coupons, and you maybe get lucky and get this tank. But I wouldn't go to the store and just randomly buy a load of stuff just because you want this tank. I would not do that at all. As I've said, it's an okay tank, but that is about it. If you've got a 50 TP, I really wouldn't worry too much about getting this tank. Let me know if you already have the tank. Did you get lucky and get the tank already? And what do you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll be back in the morning with another video, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.